in New Brunswick, people are looking for ways to collaborate all the time because they see the value in it. So I grew up in a city called St. Catharines in southern Ontario. And then I went to University of Guelph, studied anthropology. I then did a postgrad in museum studies. And then when I was looking for job experience after that, I thought maybe Scotland would be a good option. And I ended up working at the University of Aberdeen with their museum collection, and loved it for 3 years, and then decided it was just time to move back to Canada. So when I moved back to Canada, I ended up living in a small town in Ontario called Flesherton and working at a museum. So I had never been to New Brunswick before. I really didn't know much about it. I can truthfully say that. It's kind of embarrassing, but I really didn't know much about New Brunswick. You know, you have your ideas of what the East Coast is like and the Maritimes is like, and a lot of it is true in the best way. Craig and I moved to St. Andrews. I had a job, but it was a seasonal job. So I was kind of looking like, what do I do next? Do I continue to work in museums? Is that something I want to do? I've always kind of been interested in weddings. This idea of owning my own business has been kind of sitting in the back of my mind for a while, just kind of came up again. One day, we weren't even coming to see this place. We were just driving by with some friends and thought, wow, what's that? This looks promising. It just it all fit into place. The year we got married was 2012, and then we bought this place in October the same year, thinking that now we have a lot of work to do. There was, in the province at the time, there was 1 or 2 other barn wedding venues, and I reached out to them and introduced myself, and we still talk weekly about the industry, and I found that it was collaboration over competition. I didn't know that was going to be the case when I opened. Working together for a common goal seemed to be way more important than I want to make more money than you, I want to be more successful than you. Having other people like I talked to in New Brunswick, it was just a fantastic opportunity that they were open to talking. What I learned so far in the wedding industry and being a wedding planner already, we did whatever we needed to do on the wedding day or working up to it to make the couple's day what they wanted it to be. So in 2019, we had a wedding, and they were like a big musical family, and we didn't know what to expect when they all started lining up in the middle of the barn, and it turned into like a full-on ceilidh. Just the fact that the family members were playing the music, and then the bride and groom were leading the ceilidh, and they were all learning together because probably the majority had never heard the calls and the steps and didn't know what they were doing, and it was just like an absolute blast for everyone. It's really nice to be part of that and like have the space, and people know that this is the perfect place for my wedding because we're gonna have all my family play music, live music, and then we're gonna have a ceilidh. It's perfect. So if someone was living somewhere like in a bigger city and thinking about they need a change and maybe rural New Brunswick or even a city life in New Brunswick might be the right move for them, I would say do it. I have absolutely no regrets whatsoever. Everyone that does anything great here or owns a small business here does it with such passion. If you like making like real connections with places and people, then I would say you would have no regrets at all moving to somewhere like New Brunswick. So on that second visit out to New Brunswick, my parents came with me. Really, by the time they were leaving, they were thinking that this would be a perfect place for them to retire or semi-retire. My dad has always loved being by the water, fishing boats, and they live on Deer Island now, and they literally, looking out their front window, they're looking at a wharf with fishing boats. So it's, yeah, it was just perfect. My brother and his wife, again, same thing, just love the pace of life, and it was a really easy move for them too. So they packed up, they moved, and they live down the road from Craig and I.